Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. With the Clone Wars being complete now, or at least the final season being complete, I said previously that, in my opinion, this may not be the end of the Clone Wars. We could still see more episodes in the future, or at least more content in the future, I should say. But how would this happen? I have two ideas for potentially how the Clone Wars could continue on Disney Plus. The first of which is if they do another season similar to the Lost Missions, something where it's like this is the lost episodes of the Clone Wars. We'd go back, we'd fill in the gaps of everything we missed. We'd fill in the gaps to what happened to Darth Maul after Sidious captured him in season 5, which obviously was covered in Son of Dathomir, but this would be to fill it in the Clone Wars animation style and just in the Clone Wars in general, because I said this before, you can't expect people who are watching the Clone Wars, the average, viewer, you can't expect them to say, what happened to Maul between 5 and 7? Oh, there's a comic about that? Okay, let me read that. Average person's not going to do that. So this would be to fill in the gaps for these average viewers, and just for the fans in general, because I think the fans would love to see more Clone Wars content. So anyways, the first of which would be to do a Lost episode season, fill in the gaps, like I said, fill in what happens to Darth Maul, fill in what happens to the major characters of the Clone Wars, the important arcs, because, there's 40 episodes that are going to remain unfinished at this point, but not all of them are critical to the plot. Like I said, Son of Dathomir, I think that's critical. I think Crystal Crisis on Utapau is critical because it shows that the Empire, well, at least not the Empire yet, it shows that the Separatists are gaining a lot of kyber crystals for a super weapon, which we all know is going to be the Death Star. So I think that's a pretty critical thing to see. In addition to this, I think Dark Disciple is critical because we see the death of Ventress, who is a major Clone Wars character. Also, the arc where Yoda is going to be with the Wookiees on Kashyyyk, where he assists them with the Bad Batch, that's critical because it gives context as to why the Wookiees are helping Yoda in Episode 3. In addition to this, there is also an arc that was going to focus on Cad Bane and Boba Fett. Now, the reason why I think this arc is important is because, like Ventress, Cad Bane is a major character of the Clone Wars. And we should see what happens to him because Lucasfilm, Dave Filoni, Pablo Hidalgo, they all confirmed that these 40 episodes that we didn't see, or not all of the 40, but they confirmed that what we didn't see in the Clone Wars after it was canceled is still canon. Obviously, that has changed somewhat because there is an arc, which I mentioned in a previous video, where Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan go searching underneath the Jedi Temple, which there's a Sith shrine or temple underneath it. That is no longer canon because two reasons. One, Ahsoka saw Anakin and Obi-Wan for the first time in this final season during the Siege of Mandalore, and two, apparently there is a book or a comic book or something, or where Vader goes and explores beneath the Jedi Temple and discovers that there's a Sith temple for the first time. So this obviously wouldn't be canon, so some episodes would have to be cut. But either way, we should be able to see what happens, with these important arcs that I mentioned previously, because those are pretty critical to the overall story of Star Wars. Second way that they could go about doing this is the Clone Wars is pretty much just a bunch of movies broken up into 4 parts. Each arc is about 4 episodes long, majority of the arcs at least, and each episode is approximately 22 minutes long. That equates to basically a short movie. So what they could do is maybe once a year, maybe twice a year, or more than that if they want, they could release these Clone Wars movies on Disney Plus. And they would be able to fill in the different gaps that I previously mentioned with all of those arcs. Anyways, like I said before, I truly don't think this is the end of Clone Wars. I think that one day we will get more episodes or maybe movies like I said before. Anyways, let me know which idea you like better. Would you like to see another season of the Clone Wars, or would you like to see those mini movies that I was talking about? Personally, I'd be fine with either one. More Clone Wars content is good news either way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.